Okay, with the filmmaking team of Sauvetage, I played at the Crime Mystery Film Festival. A lot of action in this film. Before I get to that, I'm in Toronto, so it's 10:30 at night in Toronto. Jackson, you're in Germany, right?
Yeah, Zust, Germany. Yeah.
It's 4:30 there.
Yep.
And then John, you're in Australia?
At 12:30 here, yeah.
12:30. Okay. That's pretty cool. So we're all kind of
Yeah.
Jackson's
Yep.
in the middle and we're
Let's
kind of
keep
like
grinding.
yeah. Okay, so I got to talk to you obviously first off. Richard Norton, who is your lead in your film, he passed away about 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jackson, you actually knew him like a little bit better than me. I might let you like answer questions about him, but yeah, it was I'm pretty sure we were the last, well, at least the last film I think released that he worked on. So yeah, it was definitely a very sad time.
So you were gonna, I'm assuming, looking at the blog interview, you guys were gonna make a feature film with him, and then he ended up unfortunately passing away.
Yeah, it's so the kind of team that we had together was John, myself, Richard, and Sifu Damien Shoromutu. And John wrote this really cool script. He actually smashed it out within, I think, a week or something. And just as films work, and it always goes back and forth for a few months. And we'd done a few little projects of practice kind of films. We did a film called Ambush, which is where we met Richard, with Don Wilson. It was like a small little fight video, went for about a minute and a half. And yeah, we just got this script from John and we were pitching it, and we had a few offers for some budget. And there were some favors that needed to be pulled, and we shot Sauvetage as like a sizzler reel, which was going to be, what we wanted our film to look like, kind of showcasing what we were capable of
Mhm.
doing. And yeah, it was all going good. And then it's so weird. One day, John and I were actually, I think we were on the phone, or we were basically having a meeting about the film, talking about, what we were going to do and discussing the script. And I think it was honestly maybe 5 minutes after talking to John, I got a call from Damien with the shocking news of that, which kind of, yeah, just brought everyone to their knees. It was just a big shock. A guy that's so healthy. He never really drank, he didn't smoke, anything like that. He was always training. I think the last time I saw him, he was shooting a little fight scene for fun, and he took his shirt off, and this guy's 75, and he had a full fucking just ripped six pack.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, I can't even get that at 30. So yeah, very sad times.
And
I
so
got
you
nothing like that.
you referenced Damien, so Damien is a co-star of the film and he's also the producer of the film.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's a great, like it showcases your directing ability, obviously. Like you guys are, it's a fantastic, some fantastic action scenes, some really good acting in between the scenes. I think it's for 5 minutes, there's a lot going on and it really showcases your talent. Of course, it's so unfortunate that he passed away, but is the film still going to go forward or?
We don't know.
Yeah,
I think
we're yeah, well, like, definitely. There's still like discussions around it. Obviously, Richard's wife, is still wants to like maintain his legacy.
Yeah,
It's just a bit harder, when a lot of the funding, was because Richard was pulling those strings. Like he knew a lot of people,
yeah,
so it's definitely not thrown to the side. But being it's a feature, it requires, it probably requires north of $5 million to make. It's just kind
sure.
of, it's just what I think what where we're at is we feel we probably need to prove ourselves a bit more and make a few more short films and build up to that point. So that's kind of where we're at now. Jackson and I is we're planning some more short films, and so hopefully that will lead us on this trajectory to a more feature film kind of level. But yeah, I think it is a bit more back burner now. But we'll see what we can do. Obviously, Damien, the producer on this, he's still trying to like make it happen. So we'll
Yeah,
see what he can do. He's got much bigger connections than us, so he makes a great producer for that reason.
yeah. He's fantastic in the film. You can see the screen presence that Richard has, right? Great, like
Yeah,
75, full head of hair and everything, and like it just really
Yeah.
puts things in perspective, right? Like you said, he was like in such great shape. He looks great. Like it's unbelievable, right? Like, and then
Mm,
I'm sure it's the last thing you guys were expecting to happen.
Yeah, he
yeah.
was definitely one of a kind, for sure. Mm. And
It was yeah. It was very sad because Richard obviously said, one of his reasonings for wanting to do a film, and work on the film and like pull the strings with it is that yeah, he wanted before he like passed away, he wanted to do like one more big thing. So
Mhm.
it's definitely very sad that he didn't get a chance to do it, but at the same time, he was living his life to his fullest, when it happened. So, you can't want any more than that.
So yeah, just people don't know, like he's a pretty established like stunt guy and actor. Like he was in the Mad Max, he was in Mad Max Fury Road. He
Yeah.
worked
Oh,
with
he
Chuck Norris, Jackie Chan, right? Like
yeah,
yeah, he's been
yeah,
around.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he's had an amazing career. Even just to go back and read about his career of, being, he was the private bodyguard of Stevie Nicks, um, David Bowie. He
Yeah,
was his private security for a while, and yeah, just going through, being this guy that just started out in Melbourne, this young kid being private security to all these, mega stars, and
yeah,
then somehow meeting Chuck Norris and Chuck Norris just being like, hey, you have to be in this film. You don't have a choice, and starting his acting career. And I think the awesome thing about Richard is, he did do all these big action films, and he was such a good stunt coordinator and, fight coordinator on what's the DC movie with all the bad guys and they're the good guys?
Oh,
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, doing all these things, but in, later in his life when we got to know him, he just loved acting and he kind of wasn't as interested in the action movies as such. And a big thing for him with his feature was it had so much drama around it and he really wanted to showcase his acting abilities. And
yeah,
I think his acting skills just became so much better the older he got, and I think he did get to showcase that in this Sauvetage a little bit.
yeah,
He got a bit more dialogue, and he was really happy with that. So yeah, it's just a shame we didn't get to see him really come
yeah.
through and
Because it's a
really
great
show.
role, right? Like it's only 5 minutes, but he plays the boss. You can tell that there's like there's some great juicy kind of moments that I'm assuming in the screenplay, in the feature screenplay that he could played with, right? So
Yeah,
and yeah,
yeah,
David
Yeah,
and it
and
was
Bowie.
I think it's worth saying too that like um when from the time between when the script was presented to him to when he shot it, learned all the lines and just like executed it perfectly was I think probably over 24 hours. Like we came up with this idea. It's like we had a location, we had people that wanted to do it. Richard was free and he was keen, and so Damon came to us and said, can you please write something ASAP and we'll shoot it? And he just wanted to shoot a little fight scene. I'm like, no, let's just do a short film. So
yeah,
wrote it, sent it to Jackson. We workshopped it a little bit, sent it off to him, and he saw it the next day. He learned it, came in, and he even offered a few
Yeah,
suggestions for the script too, some things he wanted to bring to the table,
sure.
which we appreciated because obviously he's a very experienced guy, and yeah, he's also a fight choreographer too. So between him and Damien, they kind of choreograph those scenes.
yeah,
I definitely wrote that into the script, but I didn't go too overboard because I wanted to let them have that as their creative part of the film. So and that's how it all came together.
Wow. Okay, because you said in the blog interview that you write fast and I was assuming like a couple of weeks, maybe a month, but this is like
no,
you wrote it fast. Wrote it within 24 hours,
yeah,
2 hours.
2 hours, but then because there's an arc, right? Where like you kind of you tip your hat with the waitress and then but then you're like, oh, she's just gonna is she a throw then but she's not a throwaway character. You kind of she goes 360, right? I don't want to give everything away, but you kind of like I like that little I like that that's my favorite part of the screenplay because it's like yeah, you're giving
Yeah,
everybody a moment in the film, even the waitress,
yeah.
right?
I mean, when I write, I tend to think of
The
the ending
bartender.
first, and then and yeah, I like think of the ending and then work backwards. So I kind of want to. I like those kind of like surprise moments at the end. So I think I had the characters in mind, and I guess with this one I started knowing who was going to play which character, and so I thought of the ending and worked back from there, and then like wrote to get to that point. So that's kind of like was the process for that. But yeah, it was definitely pretty quick. There was a little bit of workshopping after that. But I don't think we changed too much from version one to version two, and that's what we shot. I'm pretty sure was version two. So yeah.
Does the bartender have more moments in the feature?
Well, with the feature, it was more the feature wasn't necessarily going to be that storyline.
Okay, gotcha.
It was more to showcase him as a character, like his character, no matter what was going to be like that. Like the feature story, like after doing that film changed a little bit as we went on, and we had discussions with Richard and what he wanted to do. So the other thing with Richard too is he was just also very conscious that he just didn't want it to be a whole film about him. He felt like there needed to be like a younger character too, and so we had this idea to like split the film between past and present. So it changed quite a bit, but yeah.
That's cool. And so the location, you had they said you had the location, so I'm assuming it was a bar. You had a bar.
Yeah,
Okay.
Damien is friends with the owners, I think, and yeah, they just said, yeah, use it, and it looked awesome. It's
Mm.
such a good vibe. But
How
yeah,
long? I was gonna say
I go for it.
how long was the shoot?
6 hours, six.
I think between setting up and packing down and like leaving the venue was I think 8 hours completely.
What about
Maybe
the
6 hours
fight
shooting.
choreography? Like, how did you guys just did you guys make it up on the day or?
So
Yeah,
the best I think the coolest thing about this film and most of the films that we've kind of done in the past, like the little short films, is all the except for Ruby, who is the bartender, and Richard. Uh, Anyone else in the film was not an actor. They've never really done acting before. They're just stunt guys. Um, and when I say stunt guys, they're more just martial artists. Like there's a few guys on there that have done stunts on films, but you know, the bad guy Kane is just a world champion boxer. So he's never done acting stunts or anything. He's just got talent coming out of him and is a great fighter. And everyone else is just a martial artist. So these guys had never really acted before. And we just came up, everyone read the script, we had a little meeting, and they did their fight choreography in one room while we were shooting one scene. And then when we would shoot the next scene, they would go and organize the choreography for the other scene. And the whole thing was just completely on the fly. And let's just see what we can come up with and have fun with it. So
It's really great lighting. It's like a really like thematically driven kind of film with the lighting and the shadows and like you got the light in the background, right? I guess it was from the bar, or you guys
yeah.
manipulated from the bar. Some really cool kind of. Did you guys like work with your cinematographer in the past or?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
Andrew Gould.
Andrew and I have been shooting music videos together for 4 years.
Okay.
Um, and Andrew is just an insane talent of a cinematographer, and he's a great director himself as well. And I think with music videos, everything is on the fly, you know. You don't have much time, you don't have much budget. So I basically just trusted Andrew. I said, this is what we want it to look like, go do your thing. And that's what he
Yeah.
came up with. Yeah.
He also graded the film too. He also did the color grade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a really nice job. And so what about the shot list? Did you guys just kind of like because there's some handheld camera obviously, and then you got a lot of close up, a lot of insert shots. Like there's a lot of like if I go through your 5 minute film, there's a lot of shots, there's a lot of
Yeah.
placements. Like
I didn't so much put together a shot list, more I put together a run sheet
okay,
based on the script. So it was quite rough. And I think really because of the lack of time, this was all on the fly coming from here. So obviously like Jackson, his big strength is like directing performance. So he was definitely more kind of across that. So making everything like on screen look good, working with the cinematographer. I'm all about continuity, and because I'm a video editor, bought by trade too. So I edit the film in my brain as I'm going. So I was definitely piecing it together on the fly with him and saying, "Oh, actually, this won't cut well with this. We got to shoot this." And yeah, definitely not the preferred way to work. Obviously, you want a full shot list, but yeah, this was turned around very quickly.
I don't know. Maybe it's better to work on, like, I'm talking about production, of course, right? Post-production, you can fiddle with it. But sometimes people can argue. Like, I know a lot of Polish cinematographers agree with this kind of run and gun, kind of instinctual style, right? Where they don't really want a shot list. They want, like you said, a run sheet. They know the beats, they know the story beats they need to hit, but then you're just kind of, you're seeing where the marks are, the actors are doing, and I don't know.
Mm.
It seems like you guys kind of worked on your instincts here in the film.
Yeah, for
Yeah, and
sure.
I
Yeah, I
think
think
I
that's
honestly I think it's just from shooting music videos. I think it's just because you're
Yeah.
so
yeah.
on the fly with music videos, you kind of just understand that sometimes a shot list isn't always needed, and you can just kind of me and Andrew sort of think about it as like peeling an onion, when we just like let's
Yeah.
just get all of our wides and let's just go and do the same thing and go to our mediums and then finish on our closes, and then if there's anything else we need to grab after that, then we'll grab some little bits here and there, but other than that, that's just kind of how we think about it every time we do a shoot together, and it's working so far, so it's good.
Well, you got to be good too, right? And you got to have experience. You just can't like make your first film and do this, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
yeah.
wouldn't recommend that to someone
Yeah.
going out on their first film.
And you have a shorthand with your DP too, right? Where you guys don't have to
Yeah.
discuss things in a paragraph. You can say things in a few words and understand each other, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
I
kind of,
think
I guess when you've got that relationship, you can be a little bit blunt with each other and just, it
Yeah.
can come down to yes, no, or even just a nod of the head and no one's going to get offended or anything.
Yeah. Because
yeah,
there's
that was
some, I was just gonna say, sorry, John. I just want to say because
no,
there's
no, no.
like
You're good.
you're adding to the tension of the film with your inserts and you're kind of like depth of field. Like you have the shot of like she's coming up with the wine, right? And you gotta have you have the shot of her with the wine, and you got everybody in the shot, and then you got the insert shots of like him talking to Richard at the bar, and you're kind of like doing the umbrella and like his hands, and it's adding to the tension, right?
Mm,
It's you know what I mean. And I know you're doing that in post production, but you got the shots on the day to do that, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. That I think that just comes from having like me, both Jackson and I editors too, and so is Andrew. Andrew, the cinematographer, is an editor. So we just know how these things are pieced together, and we
Yeah.
know even if you don't necessarily know exactly how you're going to cut it together yet, you know the coverage you need to get. You have to get these insert shots to help, with editing to help hide certain things, and it's also just keeping a really good eye on continuity and making sure things are done the same way each time. So yeah, I think having an editing brain is super important when you work on the fly.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, just having John there is good. That's John and I directing together is so good because I will not think about continuity or anything. I'll just be
Hmm.
so focused in on how the dialogue's being said and how
Yeah.
it's actually how the emotion feels. And John would just be like, "Yeah, that was good, but you can't shoot on that angle." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
So you guys
So
complement each other, obviously, right?
yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
How
good.
did you guys meet?
Oh, I don't even know now. Through the music industry. So Jackson and I are both in bands, and I think we just kind of like noticed each other on social media at one point and say, "Oh, I love your band. Oh, yeah, I love your band," kind of thing. And I think it just kind of stemmed from that,
Dude,
going
I
to each
think you
other's
hired
gigs
me.
and stuff.
I
Oh, well,
think
that
you
was the
hired
first
me.
time. That was the first time professionally, like in like video production. But I think we'd seen each other a couple of times at gigs and stuff. But yeah, that was the first time professionally. And I think I hired you to do some editing, maybe. And
Yeah, I
then
was on
yeah,
like the
you got my
worst, most
yeah.
boring video ever.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh yeah, and then I got you on my band's music video, and I think it's our best one. It looks awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I got Jackson in to shoot my band's music video, and yeah, I think it all stemmed from there.
Hmm.
So the way you guys are doing these fight scenes, especially with like he's got I don't know, what is it, a cane or
Yeah, that
like
was
a
a nightmare.
nightstick or whatever, right?
Oh Poor Richard. So Richard brought his own cane. He brought
Yeah.
his, it's like his special cane, and when he hit one of the guys on the back, it snapped.
That's what I was gonna say. Like it
I think it
seemed
was
real
first
when he hit
take.
him
I
in
think it
the
was
one
first
shot.
take. Yeah, yeah. I think first take he hit him, it snapped. And we all really liked the idea of the canes. I think we taped it with not even a good, I think it was like a sticky tape, like just your plastic cellophane tape.
Yeah.
And then it snapped again. And I think in the shot you can see Richard's holding it in this really awkward position.
But it looks
Because he's
cool.
trying to hold the frame together
Yeah.
when he hits him like this. But you know, it's Richard, so he
Yeah,
makes
that's
it look
right. Yeah,
cool.
he's holding it and doing like these. But I think that's actually a
Yeah.
thing that it actually makes it look really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I can I
and
emphasize that take a cane, any cane, and hit somebody with it. It fucking hurts. Like that's
Yeah.
solid wood. Like
Oh
that
no,
doesn't that's
well,
not like that's a
so the
bruise.
that
to
that
back Richard
guy,
up here.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just
hey?
gonna say to back Richard up here, like his precision is amazing. Like he's so trained that he will hit and he will always miss. Like there's just no chance he'll hit. But
Mm.
the guy he was you're fighting with wasn't as trained. Obviously moved his
Gotcha.
hand into the I think his hand or something. He was fine, but it was just enough. He's like and everything was like, I think we got an outtake of him just laughing. He's like, but I think it was
Yeah,
like his
no,
favorite game.
because Richard grew up on the Jackie Chan, Hong Kong films where stunt guys would just actually hit and they were just treated horribly. And this guy that I feel really bad. I don't remember his name. That stunt guy there on the day came along with Richard, and Richard was kind of training him to kind of come up in the film, and this guy wanted more opportunities.
Yeah.
And I think Richard accidentally hit him, and he's like, oh, and Richard's like, oh, come on, like if you're going to be a stunt man, you got to get used to getting, little hits here and there.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
I was reading the book about like the history of action movie. I can't remember the book, but it was a great book about like all those action movies from the 80s. And of course,
Mm.
Jackie Chan, there's a chapter on Jackie Chan. And they talked about like his movies, they were non-union, right? They were all like,
Yeah,
and so when he went to North America, he was like shocked about how different it was, how they
yeah,
made
yeah.
movies.
Yeah, that was really cool. Like, sitting down and just having coffee with Richard and not, trying to pitch films and stuff and just having chats. And he would talk about the first time he went to Hong Kong to film with Jackie Chan, and they were doing 15-hour days nonstop of just stunts. And he said he went home to his hotel. I might butcher this story, but he said he went home to his hotel and looked in the mirror and said, if I can get through this, I can get through anything, because he was just so beaten up day after day. And those
Yeah.
stories of those, yeah, early Jackie Chan films were pretty cool to hear from his mouth.
Yeah, and you could, I'm just thinking like they probably have to take painkillers and then there's,
Yeah, definitely.
and those painkillers are tough, right, to get off after you get on them. So yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
thinking
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's why there's unions. That's why there's especially for stunts, right? Like they got to be
yeah. I think stunt guys need a bit more love, a bit more recognition, because what they do is pretty awesome.
pretty intense. But there's
Mm.
some great moments in this film, like with Damien and the other, they're all fantastic. Like I'm assuming because you said they're on their own stunts, so there's no choreographer, there's no like they're doing the coordination and the choreography themselves, and
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
went left to shoot fine. There's no injury, no major injuries, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah, no injuries. And I think, yeah, I think it helped that like Damien and Richard were in totally separate scenes when they were fighting, so I guess they
Yeah,
could kind of help choreograph each other. That being said, Richard it was pretty sorted. Like I think he's so experienced with fight choreography that he was almost like choreographing it on the fly too between the scenes. So before each scene, we would shoot like a master shot kind of thing, like a a wide shot, and that he would choreograph it before that. And then once we shot that wide, and then we'd learnt the choreography, we'd move in and start doing all the close ups around that, and they would just repeat it the same each time.
who's the guy with the beard?
Oh,
He doesn't
what's
have
his name again?
much like he was fantastic.
With a gun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the big beefy guy. Yeah,
he
Oh,
what's his
just
name
Doug.
again?
he just looks
Yeah,
like a
Doug.
Doug. Yeah,
great hood, right? Like a great like kind
Doug.
of
Doug.
yeah.
Doug was a his a private security guard for the CEO of one of the biggest banks in Australia. And I think he used to be like a diamond guy. Like he used to deal with in diamonds or something. He's got this
Yeah.
crazy story. Yeah, dude, he's got this crazy story and he's just got this awesome look, the beard and the leather jacket.
Yeah.
And he
He's
doesn't
so
act,
friendly.
he doesn't do stunts or anything. We
Yeah.
just sometimes I think he was in another one of our little short films that we did
Yeah.
doing the same thing. We're just like, just hold the gun and just look like a
Yeah.
biker, in the back. And
He had a line in that other film, actually. He's pretty good. Yeah.
That's
did he? Oh,
awesome.
Yeah.
he
I've
did.
got you
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Okay, so John, you're the credited editor of the film. Tell me
Yeah.
about I don't see a sound credit in the
The what?
credits,
Sorry.
but it's a
Yeah, I
great
just did
sound
it all
design.
myself.
You did it
Oh, thank
yourself?
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just did it all myself. Yeah. Um, yeah. In my job, like I guess in the corporate world, because I do a lot of corporate
Okay.
videography, because I run my own business, it's obviously cheaper to do it all yourself. So I would still argue that I am not, as experienced with like sound design and things like that and mixing. Like there are definitely things I would prefer to pay someone else to do, but just in
Sure.
this case, we wanted to get it out quick. We also just had no budget. Like this whole film was done for maybe like a few $100.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just did it all ourselves, and I think it came up all right. But I can definitely hear some things here and there. I'm like, oh, I wish I could have done
Sure.
that better. But I guess that's just what happens when you watch your own films. You pick it apart.
But you need it, especially for like one location. Obviously, the stunts, it can't be over the top. It's got to be subtle. Gun shooting, hitting. It's like there's some subtlety that thematically works for your film, right? Like that's
Mm.
added the tension, with the
Yeah, yeah,
at the bar, right?
yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you just Jackson, were you like was he sending like rough cuts? Like how was the process?
I can't really remember. I think with John, it's just I think we've done a few things now, that are so on the fly. Like I said, we did Ambush a while ago with Don Wilson, and then we did a kind of short little documentary with Mark Dacascos. It was just like a little sit down chat interview thing, and did some training with him, and we filmed it all. And I think I just trust John so much now that we both know what we want without really talking about it. We'll go through our references and what kind of is inspiring us for a film. And anytime John has ever shown me something, it's automatically like, it's what I want straight away. And I think that's why we make such a good team together directing. So I think with this one, we basically shot it. We spoke about what we wanted, and we kind of know the same soundscapes and the music we like to use. And I think he showed me the film, and I think there's maybe some minor tweaks that we made, and but other than that, it was usually just over a few months we would kind of let it rest for a little bit because we didn't really know. You have to remember that this wasn't even meant to be a short film,
Yeah.
We really only at the end of the day decided to make this a short film and enter it in film festivals because Richard passed, and we were like, we've done all this work anyway, and we've got the last kind of footage of Richard, and it showcases his acting and everything. So let's just do something with it and get it out there to the world. And so yeah, with John, I think it was a few little passes, and then it was maybe okay, we're going to submit this to festivals. Let's make sure it's okay, and it
Yeah.
was
I
good to
think
go.
your only change was originally the film was a lot more violent. I had like I did some VFX like blood splurting out and stuff, and Jackson was like, "Well, let's tone it down." I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah,
fine."
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, when the guy
There was like squelch sound
gets
effects and like when he shoots with the gun, like blood splurted out. And I think Jackson was like, "Oh, I want it to be a bit more realistic because obviously, you don't necessarily blood doesn't just explode out of people all the time." But yeah, well, not that I would know. I'm not like a serial
well,
killer or anything.
honestly, the realistic part was actually just inspired by Richard because like, if you remember when we were talking about the feature film, he was really sick of doing martial arts films and action films where the action isn't justified.
Yeah.
And he wanted it to be more grounded and more realistic with things. So I think the wanted to make things a little bit more realistic with like blood spurts coming out of people and stuff I was like, oh, let's maybe just honor Richard in that sense. But I'd love some blood spurts in the next one and maybe a bit more violent.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
a
but definitely
grounded
that one.
film that's not like
Yeah,
John Wick where it's like we're not really in reality, like we're just having fun kind of
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
That being
Yeah,
said, we'd happily make a John Wick, but
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I just it's the first thing that jumped out. It was like, okay, he's
yeah,
beating
yeah,
up 20 people at the same time. Like this is not going to happen, but it's fun to watch, right? So
yeah, yeah.
hey, I don't know. Like, I've spent a lot of time with martial artists now,
yeah.
and your average Joe that can't fight, I think they could take on 20 of me and John. So,
All right. Yeah. But you figure that they're on the other side, so they know they have some fighting skills, right? That's why they're going after him. But yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah. Like they're not just us, right? So yeah. That's
For
so
sure.
cool. All right. Well, man, you guys like it's I like the story. I like the story about how it done and you know, it's so unfortunate that he passed away and like it's just like you said, it's his last acting role. It's his last time on celluloid. Like you got like he got his last moments.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's a weird feeling. It's a very very strange feeling, but we just hope to keep honoring with him with it. That's why we put it in as many festivals as
Yeah.
possible, and you definitely appreciate the selections and awards we've been getting for it. So yeah,
Yeah.
that
Well, this
definitely
is a
like obviously
no-brainer acceptance at like any film for someone who's been doing this for a long time. It's just like really well, really nicely professionally done on every level, right? So yeah.
oh, thank you. Appreciate
thank you
it.
so much. We appreciate that.
Like I've watched it a few times. It's one of those films too. You can watch more than once, obviously, and
Yeah, yeah.
you're yeah, some really nice direction in the film. So
Oh,
everything makes
amazing.
sense. Everything's got a purpose, right? So yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
amazing. Thank you
yeah,
so
awesome. We
much.
appreciate that.
All
Yeah.
right. Before we leave you guys, we asked you in the blog interview. We always ask people what movie they watched the most times in their life. Do you guys remember what you answered?
I think I answered Lion King based on the amount of times I watched as a kid, and
Yeah.
it probably trumps everything.
Yeah.
In terms of what I've watched a lot as an adult, oh geez, it might be the either Alien or Aliens. I've just got this weird obsession with like with the creature from that, and I just love those films. Even though they're getting a bit dated now, I think I've just watched them a lot. The atmosphere of them and like the set design and just the gothic nature of how the creature was designed. I'm a bit of a nerd for that, but yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, I take it back. It would be Harry Potter because my wife's obsessed with it. My kids are obsessed with it now, and it's on all the time. So it might be that now.
Yeah.
Just like all the films, they're just always on repeat.
Cool. And Lion King, I just saw the musical like 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, how was
Yeah,
it?
it was good. I like in Toronto. I liked it. We went with the kids. It was fantastic.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
nice.
liked it a lot. So yeah, it's like I haven't seen the movie in a while. So I know they're doing or they already did the live action version of it. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
for
watch
sure.
the cartoon. The cartoon version is sorry, the animated version, I
yeah.
think is the better one. Yeah. Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
Jackson, you remember what you said?
I think mine would either be, I think it was Lord of the Rings, maybe. Um, that's just my comfort movie.
You said
Or
Mm.
something else.
was it The Lion King as well?
No. I'll give
Oh,
you
what
a
was
hint.
it?
It's something with your sister.
Something with my sister. Oh, burlesque.
Burlesque, yeah. That's the first
Yeah.
one. That's the first time anybody's ever answered said burlesque. So
Oh,
I burlesque is, yeah, I didn't really want that to be public knowledge, but yeah, that's one of my
right.
favorite
hey, it's not
films.
bad. I remember seeing it in the theater way back when. It wasn't bad.
I watched that maybe 2 weeks ago when I got my wisdom tooth pulled out. So I was, yeah,
Another
Does it
comfort
still
film.
hold up?
yeah, and
Yeah.
there's some moments that were a bit tough to watch, but
Yeah.
it's still a great flick. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's still
easy
it's like a
watching.
little bit paint by numbers, right? We kind of where you kind of know where it's going and know how it's going to end, but you're watching it for the musical sequences, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm just watching it for Cher as well.
Yeah.
Cher is
Yeah.
just the coolest. So yeah,
Yeah. So
but
she has I remember she has her own she has her own moment, right?
yeah, she's got an awesome. I think she has two moments actually.
Yeah.
She at the start and maybe in the middle. She has yeah, she's just awesome. I've
Yeah.
just always loved her. So, and then I think as an adult, Dune. I think I've watched Dune. I can't even count. I think I saw it at the sorry, at the cinema 7 or 8 times. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I was obsessed. Just the sound and the cinematography. I have never seen anything like that in my adult life. And in a cinema, the sound was just insane. So June for sure.
June? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, congratulations on the film. I wish you guys the best of success. It's like I said, I would love to see what you guys do next because I think with this film's fantastic. So,
Oh, awesome. Well, we'll have
Amazing.
to, whatever we do next, we'll have to be submitted again.
Jackson, you gonna
Yeah.
come back to Australia, or John, you gonna go travel to Germany? How you guys gonna work together again?
Yeah, meet in the middle,
No.
something that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, in the ocean somewhere.
Um,
So
yeah. I've got three kids, so we'll see about me traveling anywhere.
Yeah.
But maybe for the time being, it might have to be Jackson coming back here, and then we'll figure out the Germany thing maybe later when the kids are a bit older.
I think in the middle, I could be wrong, but geographically, it's got to be Japan. Japan's somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah, that or in the middle of the ocean. Yeah, yeah.
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 I'm
Yeah.
talking
All the
about land
desert.
Japan
body
would
of
be
water,
cool.
right? So Japan, North, South Korea, that would be like somewhere in the middle.
I mean, yeah, I'll go to Japan if John is willing to pay for it. So
Yeah. Or if we got the funding, if someone said, "I've got the funding for you to go to Japan, make a film," I'm just like, "I'll write something right now, and I'll see you there."
I'm just pointing it out because there is a lot of martial artists in Japan as
Yeah,
well, right? So yeah,
yeah.
yeah, true.
It's a
We could
very
take
good
it there
call.
for
It's a very
sure.
good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's good connections there.
yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's talk again soon, and congratulations on everything, and let's talk when you guys make your next film.
Thanks so
Awesome.
much,
Thanks so much
man.
for having us.
Thanks.